Hey YouTubers, I want to take a couple minutes and I want to talk about New Jersey's third branch of government and the non-representative branch of the state government, the judiciary. New Jersey's one of about 5 to 10 states which appoints its judges rather than elects them and believes in the notion of life tenure. However, there are still some problems that plague our judiciary. And the first and foremost is its structure leads to it being virtually unaccountable. Now, I want to explain that there's a difference between the judiciary being representative of the population and the judiciary being accountable to the population. And the first is, we expect judges to make unpopular decisions. And nobody should be faulted when a judge makes an unpopular decision. But there is a difference, as clear as the light of day, between an unpopular decision coming out of a county courthouse and a judge patently breaking the law or violating the state code of ethics. In the latter, there has been very, very little discipline in the judiciary. I cannot recall the last time that the legislature has removed a sitting judge through impeachment. In this instance, I have 3 suggestions which will make the state's judiciary more accountable. The first and foremost is the state Supreme Court needs a separate headquarters rather than being housed in the Richard J. Hughes building. The reason why I say this is simple. The state's Attorney General and the Department of Law and Public Safety is housed in the same complex as where the state Supreme Court has its chambers and holds oral arguments. How do we expect there to be any appearance of separation of powers and an independent judiciary without having an independent state Supreme Courthouse? So an independent state Supreme Courthouse is the first way that I would make the state judiciary more accountable. The second way is I would call for a constitutional amendment to the New Jersey Constitution to create an independently appointed intermediary appellate court. The whole problem with New Jersey's appellate system is that our state constitution says that intermediate appellate judges shall be selected according to the rules promulgated by the New Jersey Supreme Court. So in essence, the Chief Justice of the state Supreme Court unilaterally decides who gets to become an appeals court judge in the state. I have a big problem with that. I think it's un-American, and I think it goes against virtually the rest of the text of the state constitution. So now we have the 2 things, which are an independent state Supreme Courthouse and an independent intermediary appellate court. The third thing that I think should be done is New Jersey should adopt a magisterial system so essentially, rather than having 400 to 500 full-time state superior court judges, you could only have 100 state superior court judges, and then you could have 600 or 700 magistrates that are appointed for a 3 to 5 year term, whose decisions before they become permanent are reviewed by a state superior court judge. That's the way that the federal system works in virtually all civil cases and most minor criminal matters. Now, the state would save at least $3 billion if they did that. And New Jersey's judiciary has and will continue to be corrupt until we get new people elected in Trenton and we start to forward our progress.